Welcome to today's podcast. Many of you have experienced this before, the topic that we're going to be diving into deep today, and that is what we like to call the entrepreneurial seizure. That's right. That's when stylists decide they want to leave and work for themselves because they've seen you do it. It looks so easy that they are ready to take it on and just keep 100% of everything.
Yeah, and what happens a lot of times is, it doesn't always turn out as they planned because what they don't realize in the moment is they don't see, like Lindsay was saying, all the behind the scenes stuff. Because when you're a salon owner, a lot of times you could be the technician, the manager, and the entrepreneur. So you're wearing so many different hats. And for the service provider, they only see the profitability and the success you have. They don't see all the extra hats that come with being a salon owner. And so, I think there's been some shift in our industry. It's a hot topic that everyone's talking about. And so we're just going to help you to understand why is this happening and what can we do as salon owners to help reset our market.
Yeah, so good. Because truly, an entrepreneurial seizure is when somebody, like a stylist, thinks, I could do this better on my own. They think that they are going to get more freedom. They think that they're going to have more control. They think they're going to have more money. And they believe that they'll get that by leaving your salon to start their own business. And, you might be thinking, as an owner listening to this right now, I wish that I had unlimited freedom, control, and money. But like you also realize all of the hats, like Jen was just mentioning, that you have to wear in order to even try to create the amazing space that you're working on.
Yeah. And so, like, we've actually heard a term being tossed around. It's called the salon stock market crash. And someone asked me about, what are your thoughts on this, Jen? And so, I think you have to understand what a stock market crash is. And then, that's usually when prices of stocks drop really fast and everyone starts to panic. And so, I really think that we're not in a stock market crash. We're really just in a in a market correction because I think people are adjusting right now. Yes, we are seeing service providers that are working in commission salons leave to booth rent or to live the sweet life or be in a suite. But we also see it the other way. Like I have several service providers that were in a suite or booth rental situation, and they're wanting to come back to commission. And so I don't feel like we're really in that crash. I think we're just kind of in a reset. It's not a total collapse. It's just a correction that's going on right now.
Totally. And I think when we've seen that where, somebody has been out in a suite or in a booth rent situation, um, they soon realize that they, not only are the technician, but then they're the manager, they're the entrepreneur. And so, they miss that support and structure that they had in a commission salon team environment. And so you might be wondering, well, why is this happening? I think that's a big question. Why is this happening? And truly one of the biggest reasons why we're seeing a lot of this right now is just social media. Social media makes it look easy to be your own boss, and so stylists see others posting about their freedom and success as booth renters or suite owners, but running a solo business is tough because it's more than just doing hair. You have to manage the clients, the marketing, the finances, and so much more. So stylists might leave because they see that glam side on social media, but they aren't always ready for the work that comes with it.
Yeah. And, I also feel like why this is happening is a lot of it is due to social media as well. But, people get into this industry because they think, oh, I'll get to work the hours that I want to work. I'll have all the control that I need. And really, what they don't understand is it actually is probably going to take more time on your part to grow and develop when you don't have a great team behind you. That, if you think about, I think a lot of times as salon owners, when you're no longer behind the chair and you have new team members that come in that never seen you behind the chair, they probably think, well, what do you do with all your time all day long? But what they haven't seen is all the effort that you had to put in the beginning, all the years of probably 10 hours, 12 hours a day behind the chair, doing the manager duties, doing the entrepreneurial duties. And so, I think they just don't see the true picture of what it takes in the beginning stages of business.
Mhm. I also think one of the things, that is like a secret sabotager too, is like when people say they want freedom in their schedule, sometimes what that can mean is like they'll switch up their schedule really often, or they'll move appointments around quite a bit. And, consumers crave, knowing that they're going to have that steady. I can come in at this time. They're open these hours. I know what's going on. At least good consumers do. Consumers that are spending the top dollars inside of a salon company, they want to know, like, hey, if for some reason Susie Q's out, I can visit one of her friends and it's no problem. But a lot of times when somebody is in that private environment, they're so worried about somebody stealing their client that they would never refer them to somebody else if they were sick. They don't have a team that's supporting them during those times. Like, they're doing all of the things, and then it starts to cause some instability inside of their schedule. I think that's one of the key things that we focus on, is not really making too many schedule changes within a 6-month time period, because it takes you several weeks to recover. You're technically invisible again during those hours. And so if you're not keeping steady hours, you start to see instability inside of your books, and that can really make people panic that are solo, and that's when you start seeing free haircut this week. Basically, like,
20% off,
send me
10%
anybody.
off.
Can somebody come? Because I was just really unstable 6 weeks ago, and I'm still feeling it today, and I'll feel it again in 6 weeks, because it takes time to rebuild that, So that is a huge thing that really sabotages a lot of people. And, that's when they really start to feel, kind of that chokehold from becoming an entrepreneur inside of our industry.
Yeah, awesome. And I think another thing why sometimes people leave too is because there's not system and processes in salons. I think there's some responsibility on us as salon owners as well, as like, do we have that career map? Does the team know the opportunities and possibilities that are available to them? And so, like, I think that is one thing on our end that we can always do more of and educate more about, so that people can be with you for the long journey if they choose to.
Yeah, I love that. So what can salon owners do? I think one of the key things that we can focus on is building a stronger team culture. So showing your team the value of being part of a team. So creating that supportive and positive culture where they feel that they can leave, like you mentioned, Jen, or they feel like they can grow without leaving. So, when you dive into that, sometimes you might decide, like, hey, there's a few people that don't have the same values inside of our company, and that's okay. It doesn't make them bad people. Maybe they would be better in a different environment. I think really protecting that culture is huge. And if you're trying to create that longevity, and also, creating those future opportunities, because, sometimes people, might enjoy being a leader, but, like, being a salon owner is a totally different hat. And so, leading some people on the team, but then, like, showing up every single day, like, there's no bad days as an owner. Like, you might have like a bad moment, or a few things that kind of feel a little bit wobbly here and there. But having that strength to just overcome everything. Some people just don't want that responsibility, and that's okay. But if you start to see, like, hey, there's maybe a future vision with somebody, then that's something that you could talk about individually to see what it looks like to create more for people.
Yeah, because I love what you said, Lens, because it does help them to see the bigger picture. When they're really enrolled in that vision, they can see the long-term benefits. And I know one thing I can speak for Lindsay too is, like, one thing we really worked on in the beginning is helping our team retire as millionaires. So, like,
Mhm.
starting to have that conversation as soon as you hire them, even if you don't are at the point where you can offer, additional benefits, teaching them just how to save money. And
Mhm.
I think, once you enroll them and they see all the value that's being added to their life by being in your company, they feel like it's not less than of an experience for them. And so I think that's where you really get buy-in from service providers and a team.
I love that. So if you're wondering what you can do next, really just reflect on your team's needs and what you can do to build a better environment. And, that doesn't necessarily mean spending any extra money. It just means, looking for those opportunities, like Jen mentioned, to help them understand how to become a millionaire, you know, um, looking for opportunities on how to help them grow, giving them coaching on, if their pre-books are low or whatever their numbers are telling them, because, numbers just tell us a story about what's happening inside of that client journey. And so really working on the sales process with each person, looking to bring in additional education, coaching, just, looking for ways just to show people who you are, create that team synergy, really focus on being a team environment where people are supporting each other. They have each other's back. It's okay, if every once in a while you call out because you've got a team of people supporting you. And, it's okay if you don't know, if you're not the perfect person at doing this particular haircut, because you have a team of people who can help show you how to do it. So really reflecting on what you have, what it is that you're creating, and communicate that to your team, I think is huge.
Yeah, and just to know, like, this isn't a salon stock market crash. Like, to me, that creates a lot of fear for people. Like, we are just really in a market correction right now, and that we're going to continue to thrive, and the right people will be in a commission salon, and the people that want to be by themselves will be in a suite or booth rental situation. And so, like, I just love having these tools, and not to create more fear than we need to have, to know that, hey, we're in this correction, but we are getting through it, and only good things are going to come out of this adjustment.
Yes. So, give your team a big high five, because hopefully you're surrounded by some of the most incredible people and you can just keep continuing to pour into them. And we look forward to seeing you again soon.